Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it's time to do my second paycheck to paycheck budget for the month of July. Before I do that, I'm gonna really quickly go ahead and close out the first paycheck budget. Just a rundown of some of my expenses. Most of my expenses, as you guys can see, were restaurant expenses. Honestly, I did have to get myself a fan, and while I was there at Menards getting the fan, I think it's like a 48-inch stand-up fan, I had to get my mom I didn't have to, she asked me to get her a couple of bandanas, so that was 70 bucks. Got gas once, got some hair products that I ran out of, and that's pretty much it because the supplement starts with this paycheck budget. So going back to the first budget, my fixed expenses did come out, both my dental and health insurance. When it came to the variable expenses, which is what I just showed you guys, my budget was for $448, but I only spent $291.63, so I was under budget by $156.37. I did not have any savings whatsoever because I hadn't earned enough money to start doing that just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off everything at the bottom. This right here, if you're new to my channel, I like to reconcile my checking account inside of my budgets just to make sure that I'm not missing out on any, micro transactions, or I'm forgetting transactions and all of that stuff. So I've already put in the beginning balance, what my checking account started at the beginning of this budget. It's usually $4,000, but I still had rollover from the 3 months that I was not working. So I will not be rolling over any income from here on out. Let's see, my income was $259.25. That was pretty much just birthday money. And then I had a very small hour-and-a-half worth of paycheck from my job for some online education that I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and subtract the $174.76 for my fixed expenses. Then we have the $291.63. These pens here, everyone always asks me, these are the Florissant 0.7 color sticks, and they should be linked down in my description box. Always get that question. And then the colorful ones that you guys see on my expense tracker are the Parkour 0.7 millimeter gel pens. Again, those should be linked down below as well, but I'm not sure if they are. If they're not, let me know and I'll get them to you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the math real quick. 174.76, 291.63. So that's going to give me a balance of $4,527. And did I put something in wrong? I did. That number is supposed to be a 6. There we go. So $87. All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and write that number down so that I can transfer it as the beginning balance for the next paycheck to paycheck budget. All right, so as far as what my income is for this 2-week cycle, I did get paid from my job. I only had a week's worth of work. I got paid more than I projected. I only projected like $500 something because I typically only work 25 hours in a week, and I decided to do an extra 4-hour shift for them. So there's money from that. And then also I actually forgot to include $30 from my birthday money because everybody else gave me cash. And then my best friend, she sent it through Apple Pay. So I just totally forgot to add it in there. So I added it this week. So the first thing, of course, that we have are the fixed expenses. And before I do that, girl, you don't even know what your expenses are. Okay, so the only thing I have is car insurance and then that's usually due on the 21st. And then I have the budget of $448. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so fixed expenses, and then we have due date. I am going to be sending money off to my savings with this paycheck, so you guys can stay tuned for that. I'll show you guys how I do the math to figure out how much I'm sending. All right. So we got car insurance that is due on 7/21 for $129.66. And then I always just like to put unbudgeted because everybody has had those times where you just forgot about some kind of expense that was supposed to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and total that part up, and that's going to be $129.66. And then I like to do a remaining. Now, when I'm doing the remaining, even though I have some money that has basically been in excess of the last paycheck, I don't roll that over like week by week when I'm doing my paycheck to paycheck budgets. I literally just go based off of what's my income for this 2-week period, you know, and then what's supposed to come out during this period, and that's it. Okay, so $720.57 is my starting income. I'm going to subtract the $129.66. That's going to leave me with $590.91. The next category we have is variable expenses. And I'm actually going to move this over a little bit. Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of OCD. Then we have the amount and plus or minus. Okay, so the only variable expense I have, again, is just my budgeted expenses, gas, groceries, all that stuff. There is no due date because it goes the whole 2 weeks, and then that's going to be $448. And then just like the fixed expense category, I do like to put unbudgeted for variable expenses, just in case. And then we have total. And what would normally go somewhere like that, like for instance, this month I did not account for any travel expenses. So let's just say I just so happened to take a impromptu trip somewhere. I don't have a travel budget category this month, so that would be put in unbudgeted because it would be nowhere else for me to really put that except like maybe miscellaneous or something. Okay, so out of the $590.91, we have $448 that's going to be coming out for the budgeted expenses. That leaves me with $142.91. And now we have the savings category, and this is where the math comes in. So if you're new to my channel, I budget a way that I made up myself. And it kind of confuses people when they see the math being done, but it's what works best for my brain. I don't tell people to budget like me. I just come with something that's different and it works for me. So basically, I don't start putting money off into savings and send money off to extra debt payments. If I was still in debt, I've been debt free for now 2 years. But I don't start sending money off until I know I've earned enough money to at least cover my fixed expenses, because I feel like as long as my bills are paid, I don't have to worry about the consequences of not paying my bills on time, credit score going down, all of that stuff. Most people can scrounge up money for groceries and stuff like that. As long as your bills are paid, you're good. That's just how I see it. So because I've already earned money this month, I have to take that into account because my fixed expenses are almost $500. That's the $499.18 up there. But then I've already earned $259.25 so far this month. So I have to take that into account, right? So this is how I do it. I needed $499.18. And if this confuses you, I'm sorry, just skip ahead to where I actually start writing in back on the paycheck to paycheck side. Okay, I've already earned $259.25. So that means that after my first paycheck, right, I still needed to earn another $239.93 to cover my fixed expenses before it was safe for me to start putting money over into savings. Okay, so this is what I still needed. What I just got paid was $720.57. Okay, so if I take out the $239.93 that was still needed in order to pay my fixed expenses or cover my fixed expenses, $239.93, I have $480.64 left over from this paycheck cycle. This money right here, this is how much I have left over to start splitting off. Okay, now the thing is, this is only my fixed expenses, so I still have to worry about keeping money in my checking account for my variable expenses as well, right? So where I account for my variable expenses is my checking account as well. All of my fixed and variable expenses, they go onto a credit card, but I pay them out of my checking account, right? So out of this, 80% of this is going to stay in my checking account for my variable expenses, and then 20% is going to go to savings. I came up with the 80-20 when I first did my the July budget breakdown. So if you missed that video, I'll link it up there in the eye in the sky. So the only thing I have to do at this point is figure out what's 80% of this. So that is, and sorry if you guys can't see, so that is $384.51, and I'm actually going to do 50 even. So $480.64. I'm going to subtract the $384.50. That means that $96.14 is going to go into my savings. Now, here's the thing. I have another paycheck that's coming in 2 weeks. That's going to be a full 2-week paycheck. So because I've already started to account for money that I need to put in my savings now, when I get my third paycheck, literally the entire amount is going to be split 80% for my checking for my variable expenses, and then 20% is going to go to savings. At the end of the month, I'll reconcile down and add more to my savings. So what I'm going to put here is the $96.14. Okay. What I put in my checking is not just this $384.50. Why? Because that's only from what was left over after accounting for this much as well. So basically what I'm going to do is add these two amounts. That's going to get me $624.43. The reason why I know that I did my math correctly is because when I add what I keep in my checking for my variable and fixed expenses, and then when I add in what I'm putting into savings, that's going to give me the total amount for my check. So if it's difficult for you to figure out what goes in this box, once you figure out this amount, all you literally have to do is do your check amount minus the $96.14, and then that tells you what to put there. Okay, that's it. It looks complicated. It sounds complicated, honestly, but I'm a very analytical and complicated type of person. That's how my brain works. My brain does not work with simplicity. It literally makes me go crazy. So, yes, I did write that down. So at this point, all I'm going to do really quickly is figure out how I'm going to split this money up, because as you guys saw from my last video, I do have 7 savings accounts, but only a few of them do I actually fund on a regular basis. Today is the 15th. So I'm going to put some money in my miscellaneous / investment sinking fund. I'm going to put some money in my car sinking fund. And then I'm also going to put some money, I hate writing like that. That makes my fingers hurt, into my travel sinking fund. Now, usually what I do, honestly, I put 50% in my miscellaneous / investment sinking fund. And I just do that because I just feel like if you're not continuing to invest your money, I don't care if it's in the stock market, day trading, investing in yourself by buying yourself courses or whatever the case may be. I really don't care what it is. If you're not investing in yourself, you're not growing. That's just how I see it. Of course, at some point I need car repairs and I might need a car replacement. Of course, at some point I need money for travel, but investing in myself is the most important to me. So the remaining, of course, is going to be 4807. And because it's going to be an uneven number, because I like to put the same amount in these two accounts, I'm going to go down to 4806 on this particular one. So 9614 minus the 4806. And then I'm just going to divide that in half. So we got 2404 and 2404. So I'm going to do my total. So the total amount I'm sending to savings with this paycheck is $96.14. So my remaining, and this is actually a surprise because most of the time my remaining is negative when it comes to that first paycheck. So $142.91 is what I have remaining after fixed and variable. I'm going to subtract the $96.14. So I have a total of $46.77 left over after all of that. So now I'm going to go ahead and write in my reconciliation for my checking account for this paycheck cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I always do projected on one side and actual on another. And I like doing this because I really like I don't even want to say challenge, because honestly budgeting and sticking to a budget is not really a challenge for me, but I like the challenge of trying to get as close as possible to, I guess you could say, estimating what I think is going to happen for me in my budget for that month. A lot of times I'm completely overestimating, but I also don't want to give myself so little money to work with that I drive myself crazy trying to stick to something that's so restricted and not really, I guess, realistic. All right, so my ending balance from last week, which is my beginning balance this week, is $45.27.87. I'm going to add in the income of $720.57. So that's going to get me $5,248.44. Excuse me. My fixed expenses are $129.66. And then variable is going to be $448. Savings is going to be $96.14. So when you guys see my Paycheck 3 budget, because I do get paid bi-weekly and it's a magic month for me. So when you guys end up seeing that video won't be nearly as, I guess, difficult to understand for some people, because that entire amount there's no adding, subtracting, there's none of that. I just split it off 80-20 and keep it moving. So let me make sure my math is correct real quick. Starting balance, I'm supposed to have a remaining of $46.77, and that's the ending balance. All right, so we are good to go at this point. After the video, I'm just going to go ahead and send this off to my savings. I have all my savings accounts with Ally, so I basically use Zelle to send the money to myself, and that's that. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too difficult to understand. I know some people say that I don't really explain myself much when I have to do that one step, that one paycheck every single month. So I tried to explain as much as I could. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.